Hi, Cassandra. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just okay. I'm really curious to look at your card now.
yeah. Kind of had a bit of a rough 4 days. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, let's look at your card, and then maybe that'll give me a little direction on
yeah.
what happened with those 4 days. Okay. Yep, I can see. Looks like had some fear. Your anxiety and worry were up during that time. Okay. What happened? What was going on?
Well, I had to go out of town for um, a cousin's wedding for my partner's. It's his side, so
Hmm.
the in-laws side, and they were just here 2 weeks ago for 10 days, and it's just over. Kind of that's enough in-laws in a 3 week time, I felt like.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law is just, she's super high emotion, and everything, it's either a huge deal or not a big deal, and I just did not want to be around it anymore. And
Hmm.
so I drank more than I should have. And
Okay. Yeah, I can see
yeah,
that in your ineffective behaviors. Looks like that was one of the ones we wanted to work on. Looks like that. Okay, so yeah, it looks like you did more than 4 times a week. Um, it does look like you had some ups and downs, though. It looks like your meal planning went really well.
yeah, yeah,
Looks like you did all 3 times that week. That's great. Good
yeah.
job. It looks like you're exercising. And I'm really happy with that. It seems like that's been very effective for you.
Yeah, it's those two have really helped, I feel like, a lot.
Hmm.
So I do think making sure that I do those my 3 times a week, is really good, and it makes me
Hmm.
feel good. So
Well, and like with your surgery that you had uh, a while ago, I think it's going to be very effective on getting you back to where you were. And that
yeah,
sounds like that probably helps, makes you feel pretty good
it does. Yeah, yeah,
with some of the emotions you've kind of gone through.
yeah.
So yeah, the drinking looks like that. Uh, how about next week instead of just trying to cut down? What if we just did no drinking at all next week? You think that's something you could do? Just cut it out completely.
Mm, I don't know. That might be kind of tough.
Okay. So how about we just cut it down to maybe 3 times next week instead of the four? Do you think that's something you could do? Does that seem manageable for you?
Yeah, I mean, my in-laws aren't here next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that would be good. It'd make me feel better because I feel pretty crappy after this past week of drinking as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay. All right. Let's work on I have a skill in mind, but first let me ask. Um, so with the drinking, it was more sparked that it was it more because of the stress of having your in-laws so present, or it wasn't just because of the there was a lot of alcohol there?
right. No, it was more like being in an environment or around people that I didn't
Okay.
necessarily
Okay.
want to be around.
Well, we have a skill I think that's tailored just for that sort of situation. I've used this a lot in my own life and things that I wanted to kind of stop and take a step back. In fact, it's called STOP. Um, it's an acronym, like a lot of the things that we do. The S is just stop. You have that urge to drink for
Mm-hmm.
whatever stressful situation you're in. You just stop. The T stands for take a step back. So you just kind of take a step back, just kind of start to notice, use those mindful
Mm-hmm.
skills that we have. Maybe observe some of the emotions that are going on. Maybe name those emotions and kind of find it where you're feeling it in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you kind of had a chance to look at it, maybe proceed mindfully. make a conscious decision on what you want to do with that emotion instead of just the automatic go to drinking. Do you think that might be helpful for you?
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
that would be helpful, and I think yeah, just being able to stop and take a step back
Mm-hmm.
would allow me to like yeah think about what it is I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
instead of just not wanting to deal with that environment or the people that I'm around. So
Okay. Well, and if you had kind of a reminder, it is on the diary card right here.
yeah,
Um, and just every time you use that skill, I think that's one that we can focus on this week. Is every time you use that skill, go ahead and mark it, and we can love to see how it goes next week.
okay.
Um, and we just kind of looking through, and it looks like your other ineffective behavior was the being late for group. Um, I mean, it looks like you did pretty good, except for just one time that you were late. Um,
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me about that.
I was just running behind, and I think like it is definitely something I've been working on, um, because I do, yeah. But I still find it's hard to make it to group
Yeah,
every now and then,
yeah,
and some days I don't want to go, or I just find that I'm not managing my time well, I guess, and all of a sudden it's like 10 minutes before a group, and it takes me 20 minutes to get there.
yeah,
So
yeah. So when you kind of feel in that urge or that to kind of like, I don't know, tell me about kind of what happens before when you know it's time to go.
yeah, I guess I don't really find that motivation, right?
Right.
Like about like, oh, why should I?
So it just gets hard to even just get out the door
Yeah,
and get going on that.
yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. I was wondering if maybe we can do some pros and cons on on that. And you can use this in any situation. This would be a great time to maybe practice that skill. Is when you start feeling that urge to not go out the door and be
Hmm.
on time. Um, what do you think? Three cons. What are some of the negative things that happen when you're late to group?
Well, I'm late to group, and I feel bad because I'm late to group, and that's not respectful for the other group members,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know it's like I feel like I'm breaking my contract, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not able to be part of like that initial 10 minutes of group
Mm-hmm.
when people are sharing things, and so I guess I feel like left out.
So I think being included and going
Yeah,
in there seems to be really important for you.
yeah,
Okay. So let's just jump right into what are the pros to being there on
yeah. Well, yeah, being included and getting to see the other people in group, because I do
time?
really enjoy a lot of the other group members, so being able to see them ahead of time, and like showing everyone that I am committed to this
Mm-hmm.
and to the program,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that I'm not a slacker. Like I do
Yeah.
want to do this.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I mean, I can see that. I can see that just in your demeanor. I can tell you that's important for you. Um, yeah. It's what I'd like you to do is maybe when you get that urge to not maybe to be on to just procrastinating, leaving,
Hmm.
wanting to take your time to get there instead of just leaving when you need to. You think you could kind of go through that pros and cons list? The positive things that'll happen for you if you do go
Hmm.
on time, and maybe some of the negative consequences if you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think I could, and yeah, I could see where that would be helpful, and I just yeah, I hope I remember
Yeah.
to do that.
Okay. I think this will be really helpful for you. I think I'm really excited to see how things go with both the using your pros and cons and your stop. Again, pros and cons is right below stop. You can go ahead and use this chart to just kind of keep track of that, and then we can kind of talk about it next week and see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thanks.
And I'll see you next week.
All right.